Welcome to Uplift, inspiring stories to uplift the world. Today we have the immense honor and chance to have Hallelujah. Okay, this is how you know her name is Haleh. All right, Haleh Houshim. So thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to talk about health span, meaning lifespan way beyond the usual 80 years old we live when we are about good and healthy average, which is known and recognized as being, yeah, you got a good life, and a few exceptions at 100 years old, like, whoa, you did amazing. But Ale, she has a vision, and her vision is coming to life. Let's listen to her story. Ale,
Thank you, love. Thank you for having me here on this time and space, allowing me this part of the universe. I am beyond grateful to share about Healthspan instead of lifespan. So, with Healthspan, I'm just going to briefly say some people are clear, some people get it confused. With Healthspan, you live you age gracefully. So, instead of lifespan, you just age, but you could be in a walker, diaper, popping on the pills and live a long time. But with Healthspan, you live it with grace and healthy, uplifting, and energetically, as that's of a 4-year-old. So that's the difference in quality. So, where would you like me to start?
Okay, so let's start with the beginning. When you were born and raised, what kind of environment did you grow up with? Like super good or super bad?
Thank you. So I came to America from Iran, Tehran I was in third grade. So we came here, and shortly after the revolution happened. So we basically lost everything, and I needed to financially survive. So I put myself in a corporation, high demand corporation, and I worked there to just to survive. I really didn't want to become a doctor, knowing the background uh, of my culture, I'd be a doctor, an attorney. I didn't enjoy that. So I went like, I'll be a paralegal, legal secretary, executive assistant. So I carry that in a high-end corporation and kept myself trapped to the system. And that's what I did at that time. But since age 7, I had this vision, like I'm out of this box. I'm this other alien living in my own universe. And I knew that something's hidden from us. We can live up to 200 plus years in optimal health. So, with that being my passion, that's what I did all the time on the side. I worked, expanded and expanded, met scientists that cured their cancer and visionaries. That was where my passion was. So, although I was athletic and fit and joyful living in this corporate world, but inside on the subconscious, I wasn't really happy on the subconscious. So to now make it go into where it landed me, I ended up working after that in the cancer center for 14 years. And in 2011, my life from this upbeat, high energy, athletic and fit, doing yoga every day, power walks. One morning I opened my eyes. I couldn't move. I was so shocked. I was shaken up and I thought it's the end. My life totally turned upside down. Am I dying? What's going on? And I had to even be carried to the restroom. It was quite shocking. I had no idea what was going on. I went through a lot of depression, a lot of pain, a lot of struggles. They gave me labels of autoimmune, Hashimoto, chronic fatigue, chronic pain. And they were going to continue labeling me. I put a stop to that because I had that knowing and that education and that connection with the divine source within me that there is an answer. I was the one that knew that you can live up to 200 plus years in optimal health. So I tuned into that and I got out of bed in 3 months without any meds. And I'm 54 today. I'm absolutely on no meds. And that's why I'm so passionate about being that accountability, that person to be for you, be there for you, because I truly care when you're in that position. I literally thought it's the end. And I I'm blessed to be here. It was bad. And that has a story of its own, the struggles I went through. Even in the health industry, you can go spiraling in so many different directions and so many ups and downs because I didn't want to go the medical route also. So it's just not the medical route, also the holistic route. You can constantly go in circles. But what guided me was that knowing, that divine source that I connected with. So I let go of the thoughts, the programming in my head, and I just tuned in to all that is the light. And that takes practice. You need to know it, not believe it, but know it and feel it and trust it instead of reaching outside for that. I'll leave it at that. To see any questions.
Well, yeah, I do have questions. Thank you so much, first of all, for giving us the frame, some big idea of what you are about. So what we do understand from listening that to your story is that living up to 200 years old in full health, happiness, joy, and not even feeling that you are truly aging because you are actually reversing in real time all the damage that aging may do if you do not take care of yourself in a good way. And that idea, that vision actually got you to study consistently, always from a very young age because you got that vision. Do you remember when in your life you got that vision?
Yes, a great question. Thank you. So I was in a park one day and I would see these people like they were in pain and they were not comfortable, like they felt discomfort. And it really touched me deep. I'm like, no one should feel this way. This is a big universe. I lived in my bubble in my own universe. It's like something's hidden from us. Why a person has to be, I was young, 7 years old. It's like, why someone has to be like this? So I had this knowing since a young age that there's something really out there is hidden and it's not medication. It's, you know, we shouldn't like go reach out for medicine or other stuff. The universe should provide us, you know, look at all these plants. For me, at that young age was plants. I mean, we could eat these plants. We could, you know, so I had my own vision. Like there's solutions out there in nature and let's live a long time. So that's what happened. That imagination came to me.
So what I actually perceive from that experience is that about 7 years old, and 7 years old is usually the age when we completely lose our innate connection with the divine and we fully step into our humanness and our I am, our identity. This is oftentimes, not fully every time, but oftentimes. But what I hear from what you say is that you probably have other lifetimes before this one where you were in another time already the wise woman who were using plants to heal her tribe. Likely, that I would believe that easily because at 7 years old, this is where you actually connect the dots and just say, hey, look, just look around you. Obviously, we have health about around us. And obviously, society did not do such a good job because society make people suffer. So there is something which opened up your thirst for knowledge, true knowledge, not anything that is being just fed to us in global campaigns.
Right. Exactly on point. Yes. So, in fact, I even wrote a chapter about how I got up all naturally and holistically, what I went through. And I shared a chapter in this book.
You can overcome anything.
Yeah. So I shared
Yeah.
one chapter about that you can overcome anything, because it was quite a different dimension where I went to, and where everyone else was like feeding me different stuff, like there's something wrong with me. But my inner knowing, although I was going through a lot of pain and discomfort, and my inner knowing knew something, it's like there's a light, there's a knowing. I like to say knowing instead of believing, because it's just like it's a feeling and it's a frequency that you can't explain it. It's just the knowing. And I got connected to an amazing people. Like one of the people, and I'll mention over here, is Dr. Doug Lear. He was one of the techniques that he used is cell resonance quantum healing. That technique, I will share that because it was mind blowing that our cells remembers up to ancestral and DNA, the stuff that we don't even know. I mean, here I am, like, let's say a positive, uplifting, and all of that joyful. And I didn't even know there's stuff going on within me that was already in my cells. So, yeah, that can get really deep. But that technique, I studied more, and then I got certified in that because it's something like everyone should know. I believe, like I know, because it's so incredible. It's like miraculous. And that's I highly. I mentioned that in this book about that technique. So there's a lot of techniques. As I said, there's stuff out there, and it's not shared because we're programmed so much into the medical world. It's like something's wrong. Even a simple headache or a simple ache is connected to emotion. Like everything is connected to our emotions. Um, and then I'll share, since we're talking about the emotions, everything is connected to that. Um, I used to also be very uncomfortable. I hated the way I looked. And yes, at a young age, I thought I never belonged and I wasn't comfortable with who I am. And I was blessed to be guided and coached by Dr. Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay. And they've been life changing. This is decades back. They've been life changing for me. And as of today, I still hold a mirror to look at myself in the mirror, eye to eye. It's become a habit for many years in the morning and before bed to tell myself, I love you, and really mean it. And so that's been a practice and a habit, like brushing your teeth, that I practice. And I highly recommend this for everyone because it is so important, because everything starts by first loving who you are being.
I'm so happy and grateful to hear about that, because I actually got a chance to know Dr. Doug Lehrer as well, and to experience his healing on me. I think it was 2020, maybe 2019, in that type of time. And what I understood from this cellular resonance technique is that all our beliefs are stored in the cells of our body. And by using the meridians in some very specific ways and touching, yeah, I mean, there is something similar to the tapping technique because it's also touching the meridians, but there is much more to it, much more to it. But the idea is really to actually reprogram the cellular memory of your experience, your belief. You know, one of the most mind-blowing healing I experienced with Dr. Dog was, so basically, for all those who don't know him, and I think it's drdoglerer.com, and you said
Yeah,
that
Dr.
you are...
He's in my book as well too. Yes, and I became certified
Exactly.
with
So
him.
you
Yeah,
are certified cellular resonance technique
yeah,
practitioner. So everybody can also go to you now because he's really like spreading and getting more and more and more practitioners
traveling.
everywhere.
Yeah, good travels.
So that's fantastic. I'm going to have him on Uplift, by the way.
Yes. Oh my God. We just found out like we know this common person. That is incredible. I had no idea, you know him. Wow. He's like
That's
he's like,
funny.
like our buddy now, but my husband, since we've known him
That's
2011.
fascinating.
Yeah. Wow.
For the audience, just for the audience, basically, with a lot of knowledge, a lot of intuition, and a repertoire that you cannot even know where it comes from. A practitioner will actually say out loud a belief that you may or may not have and test your body to know if your belief resonates true or wrong. And I remember that this is where I learned the belief that Dr. Doug tested on me. The first one was, it is safe, right, and good to be a woman. And I was there, absolutely not, my gosh.
Right.
So that was the first proof that I was absolutely not healed. I mean, you may or may not know, I'm victorious over 15 years of domestic violence, beaten, put down, raped, almost killed twice by strangulation. That's my life story before that ended in 2013. However, in 2018-19, when I met Dr. Doug Lehrer, I was still, even though I had done a lot of healing already, being a woman was not safe because I always thought that we are technically under men and in danger of whoever sexual predator out there or something like that. And when he actually found out that my body does not believe it is true, it is safe, right, and good to be a woman, he actually worked out with those meridians, touching a few key points, saying a few testing. I mean, it's pretty amazing, the technique. It looks magic. It's very simple. And God, it actually unlocks you. That's a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah, and it's so quick, and the process
Yeah,
is
it's like
so
2
quick.
minutes and
But yeah, it could take reps at times, you know, but like mine, it took 3 months for that to blow everything out of the way. But anything that shows up, we're still living in this environment, in this universe. So there's things that will hit us no matter how healthy, because I live a holistic lifestyle. Not a normal, because everyone thinks like holistic. There are differences between the holistic. Not everything is that you think is healthy is good. I learned a lot more through him, the stuff to look at. And that scientist that I got to know, it was through Dr. Doug Lear. And this can get really deep in a conversation. So some of the product that we think are actually good, and when you give it out and be tested, and so it actually isn't. You know, I've been through vegan, raw, vegetarian. I've done it all. And it's funny because we text each other, Dr. Doug and Lear, when I'm like, okay, this is amazing. And then, you know, I take it to him, and then he takes it to the one above. And it's just like, it's a circle of these holistic realm that I'm in. And that's why I'm so particular about what I smell, touch, hear, eat, everything. Like, even as plain as our water, it's so important. And the stuff I look at, it's a lot of people. I had the blessings and to know, because of all the passion I had first, and also the struggle I had as well. But I am just Oh my God. It's shocked that you know him. I'm so happy you know him. He's just, I call him my magic wand. He's miraculous. This guy is um, beyond words, right? And I'm
Right.
so finally, because he's been telling me for years to do it, because he sees like I'm just like a perfect candidate, and since I loved it and I'm doing it to get out of that corporate and just do this thing, so I finally did take his level 1 certification for right now. So yeah, so uh, I'm still like, wow, you know him. This is yes. So any other questions now that we got that cleared out? Oh, talking about physical abuse. Yes. I can totally feel that, because in my 20s, I went through physical abuse marriage. I am blessed and lucky to be here. So I do understand. And I say I created my soulmate in 2008, got married in 2010. So that's another episode or story,
Yeah.
but it's like I can relate. Yeah.
But thank you for mentioning that. We will see if and how we can actually talk about that too in the other talk show.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's amazing. So your name is Haleh Houshim, right? And when you see Haleh, you do not go the American way. You think about hallelujah, and you just sounds the 2 first syllable.
Mhm.
Haleh. That's enough, because that's her name. Nothing else. And that actually is a constant reminder to rejoice and to be happy, and to really uplift and inspire the world to live fully. And indeed, therefore, a much longer time than 80, maybe 90 years old.
Right. That name actually was interesting. I was on a call with a patient and the cancer center that I worked at, and she just came up and said, "You're like hallelujah," and I'm like, "Oh wow, I'll take that." And I breathe it in, and I'm like, "Okay." And then I was at an event, and this is a like a high-end event, and I was introducing myself, and when I said Haleh, and it just came naturally. I said Haleh like hallelujah, so it registered in me, and the mentor told me that's the branding. You should always say that because people will remember. And then I went deeper and I asked about the meaning of my name that was given to me in my own language. And funny enough, it means the halo. Haleh is a halo in Farsi. Yep. Isn't
Nice.
it interesting? So I'm like, wow, it all just intertwines together. So that's about the name. Yeah. So now it's like, okay.
That's so cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ale, thank you for being such a joy to be around, and thank you for sharing some of your amazing ways of seeing the world. I mean, seeing life. It's a true blessing to have you. Thank you so much. We
Great.
have all your links and all your books in the description. We have healthspan.com as your main website. From there, everybody can find everything. We have your books that we can get from your website as well. I mean, we are blessed to have you. Thank you so much.
I'm honored and beyond grateful and thankful to share this experience with you. And this one I didn't mention, and I want to briefly tap on this one because you said books. I didn't mention this one, so they'll get a brief understanding. It's very short. It's brief. It's 17 pages, and each chapter is 1 to 2 pages. And easy read. And at the end, what I like best, you create your universe. So this book isn't about me. It's about you, that you're the universe and you are the master creator. You are unlimited and you are beyond powerful. It's just a programming that we need to unprogram. And I always say, The future is an illusion, does not exist. And the past is gone and it doesn't exist. It's all a matrix. Now, step into your heart, that heartbeat. What brings you the highest joy, highest excitement, and inspiration is who you are. You are that light being. And thank you so much. Mwah. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so, so much.